Hey guys, this is Drew from How Was It Movies, and today we will be looking at the new fantasy epic Warcraft and asking the question, how was it? Warcraft is based off the insanely popular video game series and is directed by Duncan Jones and stars Travis Fimmel, Paula Patton, Ben Foster, Toby Kebbell, and Dominic Cooper. And Warcraft is the story of orcs. The world is dying, so they go through this portal to get to the human world to salvage it for themselves, and then it just leads to an all-out war between humans and orcs over the land. I've been a pretty big fan of Duncan Jones up to this point. I really enjoyed his first two movies, Moon and Source Code, and with reading interviews with him about this movie, I could tell that he was a pretty big fan of the Warcraft universe, and it shows while watching Warcraft. There's just so much passion poured into it. He wants to make sure that everything is perfectly done, all the pixels on the orcs down to a T, and they all looked amazing. Speaking of the visual effects, Warcraft pretty much in every single scene has an effect somewhere in it, so the effects had to be really good or else the movie would have just failed pretty much, and they were pretty good. There was only a couple scenes where in the beginning it was just a little off for me, but then it smoothed into it and they were pretty great throughout. Also, another aspect of Warcraft that is really good is the action scenes. They're very hard hitting. I could feel like the punches being thrown, and it was just really cool action. I was enjoying watching them the whole time they were on. But even though I was enjoying watching the action scenes, I didn't really have that much emotional weight in the outcomes of them. And it's because the script is just pretty messy throughout the whole movie. They try to tackle too much, and you just don't end up caring about any of the characters. They try to throw in too many storylines. There's like a random love story thrown in there. There's the main orc versus human storyline, and then there's just a bunch of like 3 or 4 other subplots that just detract from the movie. And with them trying to jam so much into the script, it just kind of got confusing at some points. Sometimes I turned to the person I was watching with and we were trying to both figure out what was going on, why was this happening, why did he believe that. And it's not from the lack of them trying to explain it, because there's so many expositional scenes of them just sitting around something, sitting around a campfire talking, transition, sitting around talking. There's one stretch where there's 5 scenes where they're sitting down and giving exposition, and it just kind of got boring for a stretch there. But by far the worst offense of Warcraft is the ending. I'm not going to spoil it for you guys who want to go see it, but it is clear sequel setup. They don't tie up the story at all. They just leave it open-ended, trying to keep us hanging on for 2 or 3 more movies down the line. And it's just annoying. I just want a complete, full story, and it's just not given to us. For my final verdict, I'm going to give Warcraft, it was bad. The script was just a mess throughout. They just tried cramming too much into there, too many subplots, and it just led to us not caring about any of the characters at all. The action looked cool and the CGI was great, but other than that, I didn't really have that much to latch onto in the movie, and the ending just made me furious walking out of the theater. Everyone was hoping that Warcraft would be the movie that would finally turn video games into great movies. There's so many out there that could just be great movies if we just have one that's great. Hopefully Fassbender's Assassin's Creed could do that a few months down the road, but this isn't the movie that explodes the genre like comic book movies, unfortunately. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I'm Drew from How Was It Movies. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you want to see weekly videos from me, and then comment down below what video game franchise should be turned into a movie. Thanks.